Thank you, everybody, for being here today. If you're happy to be here, say amen. Amen. Give a mighty shout. We're glad that the Mother Earth and God has given us a blanket and not a shower today. We are excited to be here for day 2 of the Moral Week of Action, focusing on education and criminal justice. Yesterday, Governor McCrory's office said for us to send them specific policy, and then they'll talk with us in an email to WTVD. And so we've been doing that for the past year or so, and we're willing to remind them here again today. So in general, we want to be very clear about what our requirements are, what we fight for in the Forward Together Moral Movement. We have plenty of specific policy initiatives that you'll hear about today. But overall, we want to make very clear. Thank you. When it comes to educational quality, we have nothing less than ensuring every child receives a high-quality, well-funded, constitutional, diverse public education, as well as access to community colleges, regardless of your immigration status, and universities, and by securing equitable funding for minority colleges and universities. We'll hear more about that. In the area of fairness in the criminal justice system. We demand fairness in the criminal justice system by addressing the continuing inequalities in the system and providing equal protection under the law for black, brown, and poor white people. How does that sound, y'all? All right.
How's everyone today? My name is Barry Roach, and I'm 50 years old, and I wanted to say that out of those 50 years, I've been incarcerated for half of, in and out of prisons for half of that time. I've never assaulted anyone. I've never taken anybody's property. I've never murdered or touched anybody inappropriately, but yet I've been incarcerated for that much time out of my life, behind minor drug offenses. My brother is serving a life sentence.
It's all right.
My brother's serving a life sentence for minor drug offense also. You know, I just wanted to say that enough of us, it's not just me and him, it's thousands of people who are incarcerated for a long portion of their lives behind minor offenses. And you know, I applaud the teachers, all the teachers here for the job that they're doing, and they deserve everything that we can give them, because a lot of times they have to educate kids with no parents, you know, and it has to be a tough job to educate somebody whose father is in prison. And not only is I tried to raise my nieces and nephews and things like that. My brother's incarcerated. I'm incarcerated. 2 other brothers incarcerated. So the kids in the family, you know, we come in and out of jail. We got no relationship with them, and you know, it ends on, you know, going over and over, you know. But you know, thank my brother's name is Kevin Washington also, and I just wanted to bring his name to the forefront too. And we're trying to do something to not only change his situation, which that's what's happening in my life, but it's just not about just me and him. It's about a whole bunch of people. It's about a whole bunch of people. God bless each and every one of y'all, and thank y'all for coming.
My name is Myra Byarm, and I have to make this disclaimer. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting from UNC Charlotte, go 49ers. I have an MBA from Montreat College. I also have a criminal record, and I can't get a job. I just had a job offer rescinded because I could not successfully complete a background check. And let me tell you, it was so long ago, I'm almost ashamed to tell you how long ago it was. But it was 21 years ago. That's a lifetime for some people. However, I am still judged despite my accomplishments. I mean, did you hear me say I have a degree in accounting from UNC Charlotte? I have a master's degree. and I cannot find a job. And so that just goes to show you how the discrimination continues, how I am still locked up, and I am still judged by something that I did long ago. And if I don't tell my story, no one would know it, because I could have continued on with all of my accomplishments without mentioning the incarceration piece, and no one would have known the difference. But people are continuing to be locked up, and they are continuing to be incarcerated and discriminated against still.
When we're talking about the death penalty, you know that for every 6 people who have been executed and murdered by the state in North Carolina, 1 has been released because they were innocent. That's not a good ratio when it comes to the death penalty. Where there's 7 in just the past few years, men, 5 African American, 1 Latino, 1 white, who have been released from death row, who would have been murdered if the system had worked faster. We do have policies that we want back, the Racial Justice Act. We're here to put forth things that we do want. The Racial Justice Act that they repealed, they just wanted to make it easier to kill people. All the Racial Justice Act did was for defendants to have a trial, and if they were able to prove racial bias played a role in their case and in their conviction, then they could get their sentence commuted to life in prison without parole. But they don't want that at this General Assembly. They don't want more truth. They're in the business of death. And so when you have a criminal justice system that is not about finding justice, but DAs who are finding out about convictions, then the RJA isn't helpful.
As I talk to you about some of the damage done to the public education in this recent session, I want you to remember 2 words: privatize and profitize. Because that's exactly what some members of the General Assembly want to do to North Carolina's long-standing tradition of an excellent public education for all children. In this session, they have treated our teachers as temporary workers by giving them only 1-year contracts. Is this how we should treat people who are educating our children? No! Only if you want to privatize and profitize public education. They ended longevity pay, which rewards teachers for their valuable experience in their profession, and they used it to fund teacher raises because, again, they're only interested in privatize and profitize. They fired 3,300 teacher assistants, in addition to the over 3,500 teaching assistants they fired last year. And they used unpredictable lottery funds to pay these important people. Why? Because they want to privatize and profitize our public education system. They cut over $9 million in student services for our most at-risk children because they want to privatize and profitize public education. They cut child care subsidy for 12,000 children who now will either be home alone in situations they should not be in, or parents who will no longer be able to work, all because they want to privatize and profitize our public school system. They slashed the Department of Public Education by more than 10%, more than any state agency, again, because they want to privatize and profitize public education. They would have ciphered tens of millions from our public school system to fund unaccountable public schools, private schools, had not the court stopped the school voucher program. I have almost memorized the words of Judge Robert Hobgood, but let me read you his closing comments. It appears to this court that the General Assembly is seeking to push at-risk students from low-income families into non-public schools in order to avoid the cost of providing them a sound basic education in public schools as mandated by the Landrow decision. He goes on to say, and this really struck me, the General Assembly fails the children of North Carolina when they are sent with public taxpayer money to private schools that have no legal obligation to teach them anything. So why is the interest in privatizing our schools? Because it's one of the fastest ways to segregate our schools by income and by race. It's been shown state by state. It is the fastest way to segregate in our public schools, in our schools by our children by income and race. Why privatize? Because there are many anti-government folks who are happy to demolish public education in the United States. They have no interest in the public good, which is to teach all children. So why privatize? Because once the taxpayers' money flows into private schools, there's no accountability. They can focus on making profit, treating schools and children like a business, but making their profit, don't forget, from our taxes, their new revenue stream. Public education is not a business. Businesses operate to make a profit. Public schools operate to educate children.
The problem that we are facing is this effort to take public dollars and put it into private hands, and that it's happening on the backs of children of color and the poor, and it so deeply affects us in the classroom that we cannot ignore issues of racial justice, economic justice, environmental justice, housing. All of these are education issues for us as teachers. As educators, we see this massive underfunding of schools as being directly connected to the privatization and in the form of vouchers in charter schools. We see it as being connected to the school-to-prison pipeline, where in an era of unprecedented rising poverty and decreased spending for technology and teacher assistants and all the other things we need in our classrooms, that there is always funds for prisons and militarization of the police. If we can find money for tear gas in Ferguson, we can find money for teachers' assistants.
Our education rights, voting rights, when they attack the criminal justice system, are they attacking our voters? Yes. So we say forward together. Not one step back. Forward together. Not one step back. So again, if come in and Yara is going to sing us out, we do want you here every day. Tomorrow is equal protection under the law. We're going to be anchored by LGBTQ rights community and the immigrant rights community and all justice-loving people as we stand here together for the rest of the week. But give it up for all the speakers.
Everybody say, hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. You ready? Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Well, there's one thing that we did wrong. Stayed in the wilderness a little too long. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. But here's one thing I know we did right. We started to fight for our equal rights. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes